Hey there guys, Luke Pettigrew here, and today we're going to be talking about intermittent fasting. During this video, we will be covering all angles about intermittent fasting, but mainly we will be looking at what it is, how does it work, how do you do it, and what are the positive and negative outcomes of doing this diet. So to kick things off, let's break down the concept of what is intermittent fasting. Simply put, it is when you don't consume calories for a certain amount of time. This could be for 16 hours, or maybe even 24. But before we can go into detail about how long we should be doing intermittent fasting for, we need to understand exactly how this process works and what are the main mechanisms powering it. And this is where we begin to look at the process known as autophagy. And autophagy is a process that involves eating weaker pieces of cell that no longer serve an efficient purpose. These pieces of cell eventually get broken down into component amino acids, which contain protein, which gets consumed by autophagosomes, which are increasingly released when there is a large deficit of nutrients in the body, i.e., no calories of any sort. Usually, these component amino acids would go into the lysosome to be metabolized and excreted. But because of the increased rate of autophagosomes, these cells will eat the component amino acids, which allows energy to be released to the body and keep it active. Which brings us back to talking about how long a person should be doing intermittent fasting for and how frequently it needs to be done in order to have an effect on body composition. And there are two popular methods that both differ in time and frequency when it comes to intermittent fasting. The first method is Martin Berkhan's lean gains model, which is more commonly known as the 16-8. 16-8 refers to not consuming calories for 16 hours, but only during an 8-hour period during the 24-hour day. Usually people will consume 3 larger meals during this 8-hour window and repeat this each day during the week. Our second method is Brad Pilon's 24-2, which has a much lower frequency than the 16-2, but has a much longer fasting window. With the 24-2 method, typically you would stop eating at, say, 5 p.m., then would only eat again at 5 p.m. the following day. And in terms of frequency, you would only be doing this twice a week, each week. So now that we understand the main mechanisms and strategies used, let's look at what are the positives to intermittent fasting. Research suggests that doing either 16-8 or 24-2 can result in improved insulin sensitivity, increased immunity to diseases, healthier growth hormones, and a faster rate of cell rejuvenation. In fact, there was a study done in 2010 by Mirdad et al. Suggesting that fasting for 24 hours increases the autophagosome count by 300%. A different study that was conducted by Headland et al. In 2016 suggested that IF can result in significant weight loss in obese individuals. A female-focused study was conducted by Klempel et al. In 2012, which included 54 obese women doing intermittent fasting for 8 weeks after a 2-week maintenance period. This resulted in an average loss of 2.5 kilos in body weight, and visceral fat was reduced by an average of 0.7 kilos. Now, as there may be positives, there are also suggested negative claims to intermittent fasting. Patterson et al. In 2015 conducted a study trialing people through intermittent fasting using 20 to 30-hour ranges. It was observed that less than 15% of the subjects reported side effects such as feeling cold, irritable, low energy, and hungry. In regards to normal weight individuals, Harvey et al. In 2017 conducted a study that found short-term fasting during periods of 1 to 2 days can lead to fluxes in free fatty acids, which can ultimately lead to skeletal muscle insulin resistance, which may result in inflammation and mitochondrial dysfunction. Yet, it should also be noted that many of these studies concluded on a note that intermittent fasting still has very little research in comparison to other body composition altering diets, and needs to be further explored in regard to the positive and negatives of this diet. But what we do know is that with a well-structured exercise program, a supportive nutritional plan, an intermittent fasting approach that fits your circadian biology that gets the most autophagosomes active within you, whether that be the 16-8 or the 24-2, and if we can stay consistent, we can begin to alter the body's composition towards a cleaner, leaner you. Hey guys, thank you for watching, and I hope you leave this video knowing much more about intermittent fasting and how it affects body composition than you did prior to watching this video. For more follow-up information, please read the following cited references.